Good morning, everyone. Well, this is the big event. Wednesday, 2 o'clock. Markets, excuse me, continue to trade on that liquidity coming. Futures are up a bit. 1, 2, 3 continuation type of a pattern here. There's a lot of chop, over the last couple of months. And so we got, looking at the ES anyway, breakout, wide range bar breakout. And Friday was an inside bar consolidation day, typically happens. And this is now triggering a continuation up. So we anticipate it's going to keep going up until that stops. And I'm just looking at what's high open interest today. Expiring today, 66.75. And so far, the highest volume is 67.50. That would be a hell of a move, right? There's no bid and offer there, but people are anticipating. All right, so 66.50 is the next half number if it's going to continue to move up, and you can see the 5-minute is a very nice steady uptrend. A little bit of a whip there, but buyers were on the dip. Continues to move up. And Qs are up here, as you can see. Now, this one here, it was underperforming, then it started outperforming last week. And so you got bar by bar. And one of the things that we look for, meaning you see a topping tail, you see a red bar, you see, things that are in somewhat conflict of an uptrend. Well, simple question, simple observation. Does it close below a prior day's low? And it has not since the retest of this pivot here. So whatever might make you think, bearishly, oh, it's extended. Oh, my RSI is overbought. Does it close below a prior day's low? It hasn't done that. And so it's got a void up above. It was a several week consolidation. There was a correction bar here. And so does the event of the news, will that form a top? It's an options expiration. That's a very real possibility, but we have no evidence of that yet. So we continue to go with what is. And the thought is buyers will continue to step up on the dips intraday until something changes. What is the Dow doing, which has the most promising chart, meaning it's underperformed. So when you have underperformers, they often play catch up. And we're looking to see if this can play catch up. And can this move up toward the high of the day? Can it continue to move up? It's blasting up to new all-time highs. And so you want to keep an eye on that, right? Versus it's, you look to see what's strong. It's going to continue to be strong, but you know what? This could really start to outperform. So if you trade these futures contracts, or you want to trade the leveraged ETF, the underperformers typically start to outperform. And whatever's outperforming tends to underperform. And we saw that last week where the Qs underperformed. I think it was on Thursday. Everything else was going up. And then on Friday, almost everything underperformed and the Qs outperformed a bit. It was like nothing big, but that's the idea. So can this start to play a little catch up? Keep an eye on that. So there's the Russell, outperformed, underperformed Friday, underperforming pre-market, building a little bit of a consolidation there. Go here, look a little bit of a longer time frame. And so this is what I mean by the underperforming. So this has pulled back. It's starting to stabilize and could rise up to at least the top of Friday's range. And then from there, we'd see what actually happens. So that's a consideration. Gold is still resting. I made that hell of a move. It's just been chopping sideways, consolidating the gain, and no one is selling in any major way. Right? No closes below a prior bar's low. Up, 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 up. Looked like it was going to. Nope. Looked like it was going to. No, 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 no. So buyers can continue to step up on little micro dips, anticipating it's going to go up. Silver continues to look fantastic. And same story, consolidating, breakout. Maybe it rests today. You know, maybe many things rest today, waiting for Wednesday. We shall see. Crude oil. There's a lot of indecision there. And you think this is on the edge of dropping sharply, and maybe it is. And so you're going back a little while, and there was that nasty drop, building some support and resistance. It breaks out, it fails, and then stabilizing again, attempts. So, you know, bearish price action, but it doesn't capitulate in a way, meaning like something like this on the 60-minute chart. If we were to see something like that on the daily chart, I mean, that would present an opportunity to be a buyer. But it's just so slow, overlapping day to day. You know, drop and immediately stabilize, and you've got an inside day today. So, you know, set an alert below the lows, set an alert up here, and you know, we'll see if it should get moving. You know, I can say alerts don't cost any money. Okay. Oh, Bitcoin down a bit today. So in the video on Friday, I think it was, you know, I pointed out GBTC and showed how that was an attractive setup for day traders. I mean, it's a little different here, but you get the idea of it. You know, this little messy action here starts forming a bottom. And you know, from a day trading point of view, it presents an opportunity to start to move up. And you know, it did on Friday. So from a swing trading perspective, this is not an attractive pattern because it's grinding its way down, but you got a big red bar ignored and it gets tight there. So for intraday traders, 60-minute charts and daily charts that look like this, and 60-minute charts that start to bottom out, you know, day trading, being nimble, presents opportunities by pullbacks and take advantage of little small moves. Transports, we always look to them to see, do they participate? And so we got all this bullish price action going on. And does it begin to fire on all cylinders? And so they didn't do anything of significance, but they did participate on Thursday when everything else was going up. So that is not a major thing, because if everything else is going up, even those that want to sell something, they step out of the way, and it relieves some of the selling pressure. So with the transports, you want to set an alert up here and see if they start to pick up the rear here and start to move up, and see if this market starts to fire on all cylinders. Interest rates aren't doing much of anything here. You know, they had this very sharp drop. They're consolidating. You look over to the left, and this level here, I think it touched just under 4%. And on that day, they touched it. So you got a major support area down here, which would suggest that further downside in these interest rates are going to be limited. Maybe they drop a little bit more to touch that area. The 13-week, which gave us the heads up of what was coming back here, back there in August when they started to drop. There was all that talk about Powell, he's going to get thrown out. He's got a cut. He's behind the curve. He's this and that. And so the market is the way the market beginning to vote and saying, whatever's coming out of your mouth, we're going to make you do it. And so there it is. So I think last I looked over the weekend, it was like 95% probability that they're going to cut. I don't remember if it's ever been that high, but it certainly would suggest it's a sure thing. And it also suggests if by some crazy thing he doesn't cut, well, hell's going to break loose. But we'll see what happens on Wednesday. And a very low probability of half a point, according to that CME tool. Did I miss comments on the internals? I didn't comment anything about the internals yet, Robert, but here they are, and they're not aligned. They haven't pushed up into a bearish area together, so neutral. I don't really read too much into them until they align at one extreme or the other, because day to day, all we need to do is just follow the trends and bar by bar. Once they come together, and maybe that'll be this week, then we start having greater expectations that you're going to have some type of a correction. And this has been one of the things that have kept us, I've used the, in the newsletters, cautiously optimistic, because where we get those red days, or, there's been a lot of chop as we look at, whether it's the S&P or the Qs over the last month. So there's been a lot of, pullbacks. Trends are normal, of course, but deep pullbacks and gaps and so on. So we have these one-day events or several-day events that suggest maybe things would correct further. Then I go and I look at the internals, and I'm saying, well, they really don't support anything of significance yet, and they still don't. So getting close is they're close, and beyond that, it's like, eventually we'll get some kind of a move, and it'll, even without looking at the internals, you'll look at the chart, and if they accelerate higher bar by bar, you'll say, I bet you those internals are at an extreme now. And they probably would be. So there's today's numbers. Things are jiggling around here a little bit. They're pretty steady, but 6,500 is the big level now. A couple of weeks ago, a week ago, it was 64. Now it's 6,500. That's where there is the larger open interest. And believe it or not, but I'm sure everybody can believe it, that the bets going out a month or so are now, they're now betting on 7,200 and higher. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to get there, but they tell us that option traders, right, institutions are betting, turning more and more bullish. Now, that's one piece of information. When these option ratios start pegging these upper bands and breadth goes up here, you say, they were overly bullish. So it'll all come together right now. The bias is, we know news is coming, big news, likely to move the markets. There should be buyers on the dips, and let's see what happens. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. This was one of those weekends where we have a ton of bullish setups. Sometimes it's painful to try to come up with compelling ones. Sometimes everything's in alignment where you get 1, 2, 3 breakouts, whatever. Buy setups.
Dan, sorry for interrupting, but I can remember times where we had more bullish setups than we could possibly even imagine to do, and it was close to a top.
Right. Yeah, right. That's true. But as we keep saying this time around, I mean, we're in agreement. We get the blow off, but yeah, everything looks good right now. But yeah, Greg and I went through, I had like 20 longs posted and we're gonna overwhelm people. So we went and deleted a couple of them, but I'm gonna be busy this morning, I'm sure, with opens and new trades. So it's just a matter of finding the best looking ones is all. And I think ours are fantastic, or else they wouldn't be in the letters. Put spreads, 1, 2, 3s, etc. All right, look, I just had a low alarm go off on this. Kava we're short. So that's good. When you're fading the broader markets and you get an alarm in that direction. So let me set a low alarm, 62.50.
Dan, sorry for interrupting again, but look at NVIDIA for a call spread.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
some news today about them
Yeah.
violating some rules or something.
Yeah, China's said they violated something or other. So yeah, that's on the list. Call spread. Um, Tesla's on the list for a call spread. Just bullish as can be here. We did a put spread here. Greg, I mentioned it as a directional on that Friday gap and go. Look at that end of day base. The news came out that Musk bought $1 billion worth. So that's by definition. They called a bid under the market. That's why he got this end of day base because he has a bid just buying it. But now nothing fun. This is the same story of Buffett or Elliott Management saying, "Oh, I've been accumulating shares over the last few months." There is nothing fundamental that changed from Friday. So, and it's gapping up $30. So to me, my bias is call spread and they trade short when it sets up. Let's go through these alarms here. AMPX, kind of a pseudo 1, 2, 3. It's moving here. Well, let's get up to the top. That could be a good 30-minute high. PLD, 1, 2, 3. PLDs are all over the place. So I see one print up here that's setting off that alarm. PSX, beautiful 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. I mean, it's technically not a 1, 2, 3 because they're not inside bars. So just call it a mini breakout, call it whatever. But that looks fantastic. I'm gonna put that in a window. PSX. So I'm going to be busy managing these new alarms of how, if they hit cleanly or they're gapping over it, and we can do a 5-minute high, we can do a pullback. Rocket Lab. Yeah. Closing breakout. Yeah, that's a bottoming. That's a 1, 2, 3 bottoming pattern. So if you like bottoming patterns, sure. That's the perfect entry for it, Thomas. Perfect. Closing your position on Tesla. You're in Tesla? Awesome. I sure as heck would, Molly. Are you kidding? AAOI up alarm. That looks great. So I think this one we were recommending call options, LVS. Down alarm went off. This is a call spread. At first I had long puts. And then Greg gave me, not MGM, Caesars. Caesars is more bearish. So yeah, the Caesar's here, we can buy a put under Friday's low. Can, a little marijuana stock, up alarm went off. We're already in that, Hertz. Bottoming pattern, my up alarm went off. ETN, continuation breakout, up alarm. All right, so that one, if it's gapping the 372 is too much. So that one I'm gonna go I'm just gonna say hold off because I gotta watch and make sure. Sienna, climb will watch. Looks like my down alarm went off here, but then it bounced back up. Let me reset it. Now that's a very powerful move. But we're traders, so I'll spread under the low. Reset the alarm. XPath, little bottoming pattern. We gave a put spread on them. UNH, we're in trail mode, opening flat, nothing to do. Fly, or Bali, I think you were in this with me. I have a 40-35 put spread that my up alarm went off. You know, I'm watching it also for directional, but it's marinating. It's not ready. All right, those are my alarms. I don't have any earnings. Just looking at the things. Apple. Remember on Thursday, it got a downgrade, and I said that would be a perfect 30-minute high. Buy setup on support, and that worked out perfect entry on a downgrade. Amazon, still a mess, but it's a sloppy buy setup. And the gap fill, I'm gonna set and learn at 231.50. Meta actually had a down alarm, but we're not in this. There's no pattern there. Netflix relative weakness. Somebody in the green room was saying maybe they got some competition, but I don't see anything to do there. Microsoft, it's not ready. But yeah, NVIDIA and Tesla, all spread ideas. Let's just go through whatever list here that I have time for. Hymns. There was some news about their false commercial. But if we get a 1, 2, 3, looks good. Sam, a couple of these are yours. SAIA. It's working. It's sideways, but it's working on a breakout. Let's set an alarm. 316 for now. Legend breakdown idea. You know, it's down a lot though, but this is a consolidation that gave us confidence that it can't bounce. Driven, it's a sloppy 1, 2, 3. I have an alarm, Lico, kind of a topping pattern, maybe a call spread. That's Citra. Put spread is all potential bottoming pattern. Yeah, I mentioned curve last Thursday yeah, this gap up broke the back of the downtrend, bottoming tail. I actually looked at that for a put spread, but I couldn't get a good credit. Hop. It's actually a sell setup, daily and monthly. What? Look at the monthly cell setup right there. That's a cell setup, period. And we got a breakout failure on the weekly. So if oil does break down, cop looks good. Let me set alarm 9270. And Greg was talking pre-market about, red bars ignored and trading under prior bars low, etc. This Wednesday, MT Live's going to be on that. Red and green bars ignored. How to? Yeah, I saw QBT. Yeah, we're in this as a put spread. I got like a dozen opens myself. And I forget if I'm still in this one or not. So let me look. Caesar, we talked about. Look at coin. Coin potential breakout. I'll set an alarm at 326. I already had one at 328. I'm on QUBT. I'm long stock and a short put spread. All right, so good. I'm in that. Oracle bottomed. Yeah, see, I disagree. Well, okay, so yes, it bottomed on the 15-minute chart, but definitely not the daily. When you get big gaps like that, that's exactly what you want to see. Is a controlled buy setup on a pullback. Look at this grab I mentioned on Thursday. I was hoping to get a 1, 2, 3 or a pullback, and it just ripped on Friday. But look at this monthly. I'm not gonna waste time watching it. XLB, pseudo 1, 2, 3. Sears, breakout watch, bullish weekly. Sam, your Lulu is still weak. Lulu closing breakdown. I looked for a call spread. There was nothing. Circle alarm. This could be a 1, 2, 3. I'll set a new alarm 134. All right, let me go to these alarms that went off pre-market, and cop alarm went off. And nothing to do yet. It's tight. Roadrunner, we're in this core long, I think. That looks great. Look at a 15-minute chart. Even could be a day trade. Roadrunner. Does anybody remember that show? The Roadrunner when you were a kid? Was it Meep or Beep? Beep. I think it was Beep. Poor MGM. All right, Zen. All right, that's successful gap. That was a bottoming pattern. All right, let me go back to these alarms. So we can adjust our entry. All right, I canceled some, so I forget. I gotta double check which one of these are official because we deleted some. AMPX. okay is not official. So this could be a 30-minute high. AMPX looks good. Amazon up alarm. Bullish pre-market. Q's the strongest here this morning. AMPX, I'm gonna set a new alarm, 8:52. I personally don't like trading the first 10 minutes on Mondays. Just let things settle down. We got, retail orders. QS. It's up 3 bars of resistance. It needs to go sideways. Amazon, hey, sloppy buy setup. You can check 225 put spread, maybe 30-minute high. I'll check. Google's ripping here. That thing's been on a tear. Amazon 225. AVNS alarm. Yeah, 60 cents. 60 cents. Amazon put spread. Yeah, let's give it 30-minute high. Avanes is triggering. Wait, but I don't see it in my pending. This might have been one that we deleted. Unless it's a put spread. Nope. All right. So I don't have Avanes. So it was just an alarm I set, but it's a buy setup with a little mini 1, 2, 3. Greg, your Disney you mentioned alarm just went off, like maybe 30-minute low. I wouldn't do it right now. My fly up alarm. I should have an open profit now. Yep, sure do. Bali, are you in this with me? Yeah, got an open profit. I think we sold it for 70. I'm gonna put a bid out here for 30. Actually was bidding for this QQQE pre-market. Did not get filled. Coin up alarm. So cancel it now. Coin. Well, nothing to do yet. Kava. PSIX. All right, now let's buy the high on PSX 96.49. PST. I don't like that. It's near these prior highs. Big move from 180. Hey, Caesar's Palace. Let's give it a 5 minute low, 24.96. Accuser. Looks like, man, Google is flying. AAOI. All right, we got to cancel AAOI. The gap and go messed it up. LVS is a go for the call spread if you get filled. Tesla rolling. Check calls. I just do not understand the idiocracy of people buying the market open after it's run $100 in 3 days. But that's what makes a market. Four eighties, 485. Oh, it's only a quarter, so that's the problem. Getting a good midpoint. Try 470. 465. There, you can do 465. Let's do that.
Were you talking to me?
No subscribers, but I'm gonna do 465 Tesla here. MGM up alarm. That was a Climo. Oh, yeah, yeah, I like it. Yesterday's fine. I got an alarm at 134 times. But yeah, bottoming pattern. MGM alarm, nothing to do yet, but it's a Climo and major support. I looked at a put spread, there was no. Yeah, you did it naked then, Trent. Dow. Oh, yeah, this was in the letter. Dow over 25.19, so it gapped over it. So let's change that to the high, 25.38. I nod, low alarm. I don't remember that one. Oh, I nod. There you go. I had it as a climb over. Let's see, what's this? Official call surrender.
YM is down near major support level intraday, minor support daily. See if it starts to stabilize.
Yeah, this INOD was selling $70 calls for 60 cents, which is the offer. So it's not filled yet. Sears looking good. I like it better for closes like this. G Pro alarm looks great. We have long calls for Friday. Let's see. Long calls. Yep, we met our first target. Nice. Let's tighten the stop. About here. 203. Ah, the first target was $1. Okay, so